Some AMG owners don't just want power, they want domination. And today, we're diving into the most insanely tuned Mercedes-AMG cars ever created. Stay until the end, because the final AMG is pushing so much horsepower, it makes the stock version look like it's running in eco mode. Mercedes-AMG builds cars that already command fear, but tuners turn them into monsters that break physics. My promise, I'll reveal the wildest tuned AMGs, their real-world prices, horsepower gains, and what owners spend to unleash their full fury. Today we explore V8 madness, turbocharged rockets, and one AMG so extreme, even supercars avoid lining up next to it. 1. Mercedes-AMG C63 W204, the naturally aspirated V8 legend. The W204 C63 is the car that made the world fall back in love with big displacement engines. You can find one today for $25,000 to $40,000. Inside sits the legendary 6.2-liter M156 V8, producing 451 to 507 horsepower stock depending on the edition. But tuned, it becomes a thunderstorm on wheels. A simple tune and exhaust push it near 500 horsepower, but the wild builds, superchargers, and big cams take it to 600 to 700 horsepower. The craziest owners go for stroker kits or twin-turbo conversions reaching 800 plus horsepower, spending $10,000 to $35,000 on upgrades. The sound is iconic, a deep, violent roar that shakes camera microphones. 2. Mercedes-AMG A45/CL A45, the 2.0-liter four-cylinder overachiever. These small AMGs cost $30,000 to $55,000 and make around 360 to 415 horsepower stock depending on model year. The magic? They hold the world record for the most powerful production 2.0-liter engine. A Stage 1 tune instantly pushes them to 420 to 450 horsepower. Add downpipes and intakes, and you're hitting 470 to 500 horsepower. Big turbo builds climb to 550 to 650 horsepower. Insane numbers from something this small. Owners usually spend $4,000 to $15,000 depending on the build, and because of the rapid shifting dual clutch and AWD, these cars launch like rockets. 3. Mercedes-AMG E63S W213, the family car that destroys supercars. The E63S is already a monster from the factory. A used one goes for $70,000 to $110,000, packing a 603 horsepower 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8. A simple tune boosts it to 700 horsepower. Add hybrid turbos, ethanol fuel, and upgraded intakes. Now you're looking at 800 to 900 horsepower. And the absolute monsters. Built motor setups pushing 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower. Owners invest $10,000 to $35,000, turning the polite family sedan into a four-door missile that outruns McLarens, Huracans, and Ferraris. 4. Mercedes-AMG C63S W205, the twin-turbo successor turned monster. The W205 C63S brought a new chapter, twin-turbo V8 power. Priced $45,000 to $70,000, it makes 469 to 503 horsepower stock. But the 4.0-liter bi-turbo engine is a tuning goldmine. Stage 1 tunes push it to 580 to 600 horsepower. Add downpipes, intakes, and a stronger cooling system, and you get 650 to 700 horsepower. Hybrid turbo kits take it even further, 800, 900, even 1,000 horsepower in extreme builds. Owners spend $7,000 to $25,000 depending on how insane they want the car to be. And thanks to the V8 signature crackle, even simple revs sound like artillery fire. 5. Mercedes-AMG GT/GTS/GTR, the supercar slayer. The AMG GT lineup ranges from $80,000 to $170,000, coming with a handcrafted 4.0-liter bi-turbo V8, making between 456 and 577 horsepower stock, depending on the model. A tune alone takes it into 600 to 650 horsepower territory. But the serious builds? Hybrid turbo GTRs make 800 to 900 horsepower. Some extreme setups with reinforced internals and upgraded fueling hit 1,000 plus horsepower. Owners typically invest $10,000 to $40,000. The AMG GT's long hood and wide stance make it look like a German predator stalking the streets. 6. Mercedes AMG G63, the twin-turbo brute with supercar power. The AMG G63 is a celebrity favorite, but tuners love it too. Prices run from $120,000 to $200,000, and it comes with a 577 horsepower twin-turbo V8. A tune raises it to 680 horsepower. Add downpipes and intakes, and you're at 720 horsepower. Crazy owners swap in hybrid turbos and upgraded cooling to reach 800-900 horsepower. In a 2-ton luxury brick, owners usually spend $5,000 to $20,000 to turn their G-Wagon into a physics-breaking monster. 7. Mercedes AMG A35 sedan, the budget tuner sweet spot. The A35 costs $35,000 to $50,000 and makes 302 horsepower stock. It's the entry-level AMG, but tuners treat it like a toy with huge potential. Stage 1 tunes push it to 360 to 380 horsepower. Full bolt-ons hit 400 to 420 horsepower. And with upgraded turbos, 450 plus horsepower is realistic. Owners spend $2,000 to $10,000 creating a compact AWD rocket that surprises much larger cars.
8. Mercedes AMG E55 W211, the supercharged V8 legend. Before the turbos and electronics, AMG gave us the E55, a sedan with a supercharged 5.4-liter V8. You can find one for $15,000 to $30,000, and stock it makes 469 horsepower. But the tuning scene is iconic. Lower pulley, upper pulley, cooling mods, and a tune send power to 550 to 600 horsepower easily. Built motor E55s with giant blowers hit 700 to 800 horsepower. Some extremists push 900 plus horsepower. Owners invest $5,000 to $25,000, turning this old-school V8 into a dragstrip hero. 9. Mercedes AMG E63 W212, the 5.5-liter twin-turbo monster. The W212 E63 costs $35,000 to $60,000, depending on year. The 5.5-liter twin-turbo V8 makes 518 to 577 horsepower stock. A tune alone brings it to 600 plus horsepower. Add downpipes and cooling upgrades, and you're at 650 to 700 horsepower. The full builds with upgraded turbos and fueling hit 900 to 1,000 horsepower without losing daily comfort. Owners spend $6,000 to $20,000, and the results are brutal: instant torque, violent acceleration, and the ability to embarrass exotic cars while having 4 doors and massage seats. 10. Mercedes AMG GTR 1,200 plus horsepower twin-turbo build. Here it is, the monster you waited for. The AMG GTR is already a track weapon. It costs $130,000 to $200,000, making 577 horsepower stock. But tuners look at that number and laugh. Twin-turbo kits for the GTR turn this car into a hypercar killer. With built internals, upgraded fueling, huge intercoolers, and aggressive maps, these machines reach 900, 1,000, even 1,200 horsepower. Owners invest $30,000 to $70,000 in these builds. What they get is acceleration faster than a Bugatti Veyron, sound that shakes buildings, flames longer than the bumper, a German supercar that feels like a guided missile. It's the perfect finale for the most tuned AMGs ever built. 11. Mercedes AMG GT 63S 4-door, the luxury missile that shouldn't be this fast. The GT63S looks like a luxury 4-door coupe, but underneath, it's hiding some of the most violent acceleration Mercedes has ever engineered. Prices run from $100,000 to $150,000, and stock you already get an insane 630 horsepower. A simple Stage 1 tune pushes it beyond 700 horsepower with no hardware changes. Add downpipes, upgraded intakes, and an ethanol mix, and you're suddenly hitting 750 to 850 horsepower. The wilder builds, hybrid turbos launching this family car into 900 plus horsepower territory. Owners typically invest $8,000 to $25,000 to turn the GT63S into a rolling sledgehammer, a car that blends luxury and brutality in equal measure. 12. Mercedes AMG CLS 63, the silk glove street assassin. The CLS 63 has always been the elegant assassin of the AMG lineup. A used one costs $30,000 to $55,000, and stock power sits between 518 and 577 horsepower depending on the generation, but tuners discovered something special. The 5.5-liter twin-turbo V8 inside this car responds to mods like it's begging for more. A tune and downpipes bring it to 650 horsepower instantly. Hybrid turbos, fueling upgrades, and cooling mods push it into 800 to 900 horsepower territory. Owners usually spend $5,000 to $18,000, creating a silent but deadly AMG that looks elegant, until it opens up and screams. 13. Mercedes AMG SL63, the roofless V8 cannon. The SL63 is a car that combines open-air luxury with a twin-turbo punch. Prices range from $45,000 to $90,000, and stock horsepower sits around 530 to 585 depending on model year. But once tuners get involved, the SL63 becomes a different animal. A tune brings it to 620 to 650 horsepower. Add downpipes, intercoolers, and ethanol fuel. Now you're staring at 700 to 900 horsepower in a convertible that feels like a rocket-powered fighter jet. Owners normally invest $6,000 to $20,000 to create this roofless beast, one that makes cruising feel like riding a storm. 14. The final monster, Mercedes AMG S63, the luxurious monster with supercar punch. The S63 is the definition of refined brutality, a luxury sedan costing $50,000 to $85,000, equipped with a buttery smooth twin-turbo V8, making 577 horsepower stock. But under the surface, tuners have unlocked terrifying potential. A tune alone brings it to 700 horsepower. Add upgraded intakes and downpipes, and you're flying past 750 to 800 horsepower. Hybrid turbo builds push these luxury battleships into 900 plus horsepower levels. Owners put $5,000 to $20,000 into mods to turn the S63 into the ultimate executive missile, a limousine with the soul of a dragon. To see more insane car builds, check out my previous video, The Most Tuned Cars from BMW.